Good evening and welcome along to the Common coverage of the Premier League clash between Manchester City and West Ham United. I'm Russ Fennan and you are listening to the Commentary Hub. So then we've got a great game in store. We'll run you through the changes for both sides, starting with the home side Manchester City this evening, and they have made three changes to the side which played and beat Fulham at the weekend in a 2-1 victory. And they're fetching Stefan Ortega for his Premier League debut. Nathan Ake is back in the side, and as to is Bernardo Silva. Out goes Edison, Ilkay Gundogan, and Manuel Akanji, who drop to the bench. As for West Ham United, they make four changes to the side today. They've got illness running through their camp. Coming in is Theo Kehrer, Angelo Ogbonna, Aaron Creswell, and Flynn Downs. Dropping out to the side is Kay Zuma, Neaf Agard, Thomas Soucek, and the club captain Declan Rice. We'll go through the two sides in a moment or so, but just a quick one, just a reminder. Back on the opening day of the season, 7th of August 2022, these sides met at the London Stadium with Manchester City running out 2-goal winners. 2 goals to set him on the way for 50 goals in all competitions so far for Manchester City, and Erling Haaland with the goal on that occasion for the citizens. Can he add more goals to his tally this morning, this afternoon or evening, depending where you are tuning in from across the globe and around the world? It's going to be a very, very good game, this one, and I'm looking forward to watching this game in the end and what is going to be a big, big game. Still no Kevin De Bruyne, being out injured since playing against Arsenal last week. Missed the game against Fulham. Misses out again tonight for the citizens, and that could prove to be a big miss if they are to get back to winning ways. 2 goals in his last appearance against Arsenal helped City to go on and beat them by 4-1. Coming up for City in the next 5 games is Leeds United in the Premier League on Saturday, Real Madrid next Tuesday in the Champions League semi-final, first leg of the Santiago Bernabeu. Then it's a new trip to face Sean Dyche's struggling Everton. And then it's Real Madrid at home in the second leg before Chelsea at the Etihad on the 21st of May. Leeds United earlier today appointed their new manager in Sam Allardyce, Big Sam, back in the Premier League and back and in management at Ellen Road. And joining him in his staff at Ellen Road is former Leeds United striker Robbie Keane. Robbie Keane was part of the Leeds United side when they were last in the Premier League before they were promoted just 3 years ago under Marcelo Bielsa. The two West Ham sides, West Ham and Man City side, should I say, are in the tunnel. Got a quiz question to ask you in a moment or so. Hopefully you can get in touch with us and let us know your thoughts for that one. It's which I'm going to ask you right now. Today will mark the 119th competitive meeting between the two clubs. Look, I want to know which side do you think has won the most matches? Is it West Ham or is it Manchester City? I'll reveal the answer at half time in this game. Who has won the most matches out of their 118 match? So who do you reckon has won the most? Answers, you can tweet us if you like, Commentary Live 1. Or you can comment it in the live comment section on YouTube or on Twitch. With the hashtag TCUB for your answer with the answer. And I'll read and I'll go through some of those at half time as well. Well, quiz question, reminder of that quiz question once again. Today's the 119th competitive meeting between the two sides, Manchester City and West Ham United respectively. Who has won more games so out of the previous 118 matches? Will it be, is it Manchester City, should I say, or is it West Ham United? There's been 19 draws in the previous 118 games. Will this be a draw this evening as the two teams emerge from the tunnel as we get ready for kick-off in this game? Manchester City against West Ham United is going to be a big game for us all to follow as well. The Citizens and the Hammers made their way out onto the field of play, and just going through the teams for you right now. I'll just remind you that Manchester City make 3 changes to the side. Ortega, Ake, Silva in, Fedderson, Gundogan and Akanji. Says Ortega in goal. The back 3 of Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz and Nathan Ake. 2 in front of them is John Stones and Rodri. In front of them is Riyad Mahrez, Julian Alvarez, Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish. And the man that leads the line, looking for his 51st goal in all competitions, is Erling Haaland. Substitutes bench for Manchester City is Ederson, the sub-goalkeeper, Calvin Phillips, Ilkay Gundogan, Aymeric Laporte, Sergio Gomez, Manuel Akanji, Maximo Pro, Phil Foden and Rico Lewis. As for West Ham, it's Lucas Fabianski in goal, Angelo Ogbonna, Theo Kerr and Aaron Creswell, the back 3. Is a midfield for them of Vladimir Soufal and Emerson as the wing-backs, Flynn Downs and Lucas Paqueta as the 2 in the middle. And up front is a front 3 of Jarbon and Pablo Fornals, either side of Mikel Antonio Forci, just for West Ham, Kerr, Ogbonna, Creswell and Downs in for Zuma, Aged, Souček and Rice. Illness going through the camp of the Hammers. That's why Rice and Souček are not involved today. Even Zuma and Aged are not involved either. The bench for the Hammers, 2 sub-goalkeepers in Alphonse Areola and Joseph Angang. Ben Johnson, Manuel Lanzini, Maxwell Cornet, Danny Ings and Said Benrahma make up the outfield players on the West Ham United substitutes bench this evening. Let's tell you about, we just heard about the starting lineups and the subs benches. Let's tell you who the match officials are in this game today. So the referee is John Brooks, assisted by Matthew Wilkes and Nick Greenhalgh. Robert Jones, who was the referee for the Chelsea-Arsenal game, Arsenal-Chelsea game, should I say, yesterday, is the 4th official today. The VAR people at Stockley Park is Michael Salisbury and Konstantin Atizakis. Mikel Antonio Fogos in his last 4 appearances for the Hammers. He'll be looking to continue that. Today's on already going well in the goal scoring charts. Their top scorer with 12 goals as Man City just about to go through their last minute huddle, pretty much huddle, as Pep Guardiola comes down, shakes the hands of the West Ham coaching team, as does David Moyes shakes the hands of the Manchester City coaching team as well. There is another Premier League game going off this evening at Anfield. That is Liverpool against Fulham. We'll keep you up to date with how that game is going this evening, but this is our main focus: Manchester City against West Ham. There's a quiz question going off if you're just joining us. And a manager of that quiz question again in just a minute or so. You can get your answers into us if you would like, as this West Ham will get us off and underway with, that looks like his Pablo Fornals will kick us off and underway, which he does. But to keep Tilo Kehrer taking the goal away to my left hand side, where West Ham, Man City taking the goal away to my right. Man City in their sky blue shirts, white shorts, sky blue socks. West Ham in their claret and blue shirts, claret and blue shorts, claret and blue socks. And he's back with Ortega in the Manchester City goal. As Man City will try and play it out from the back that they normally do. There's Emerson pushing high up is the midfield. It looks like it's a 4-2-3-1 formation with Emerson just playing a bit further forward from them, as it did come out as a 3-5-2 formation for the Hammers at the start, but West Ham almost getting with Jabon early on, but Man City have just tried to do well with Nathan Ake on possession now. On the edge of his own box into Rodri. Out wide to the left hand side, and there's Bernardo Silva now coming over the halfway line. There's Julian Alvarez. Alvarez is still going into Arlen, back to Alvarez. Julian Alvarez lines up a shot straight into the arms of Lucas Fabianski, and that's a easy save. If you're just running into us and want to know that quiz question, or the question I'm going to ask you is, today's the 119th competitive game between the two sides. Who has got the most wins? Is it Manchester City or is it West Ham United? You can tweet us if you want to. Tweet at Commentary Live 1, use the hashtag TCUB and put in your answer. Or you can put it in the live comment section on this video and we'll read some of them out at half time, just before we give you the answer. At around about half time as well, as here comes Manchester City's Bernardo Silva up over halfway over on the left hand side. Gets the ball out wide, but he still runs out wide with it and he's still got the possession, but West Ham do well to get the ball back. Here's Jared Bowen looking for a super smashing great performance from him, but I don't think we'll get it with the performance just like that, which is just run the ball out of play with. Manchester City 0, West Ham United 0, 2.5 minutes gone. Last win for David Moyes and the attack came with Everton back in December 2010. Manchester City have dominated this recent fixture, winning 3 of the last 31 Premier League meetings, with West Ham United dating back to 2006, with no league win coming since 2015. Can City get their elusive first win since 2015 over the Hammers tonight, I wonder? As the ball's fought towards Mikel Antonio, but cut out well, and now John Stones in the centre circle. We'll try and get the ball forward into Rodri, who finds Nathan Ake. Does he put too much on it? Ake has to scamper across to keep the ball in play, and he does well then, plays into Bernardo Silva, who wins his side of throwing early on here, and he's still 0-0 as Man City take on West Ham United. The ball is into the centre circle, and John Stones, who will look up and will try and get the ball forward. He plays the ball out wide to Kyle Walker, into John Stones, who will play the ball forward and sideways, but can't pick out Rodri in. There's a wonderful challenge in there by Pablo Fornals to get the ball back momentarily. Now it's with Ortega just outside his penalty area and plays out wide to his right hand side and Kyle Walker. His every touch is almost at Emerson in, and good pressure that from the normal left back for West Ham United, playing in the left wing back role tonight, as West Ham have reverted to 3 centre backs in Ogbonna, Kehrer and Creswell. Ogbonna will be, it looks like Ogbonna will be the centre of the one with Tilo Kehrer and Aaron Creswell either side of him. As Bernardo Silva still runs forward, no free kick given as he goes down, as the ball is cleared away. Goes all the way through to Ortega, who drops it into Rodri. Now Man City will look to come forward. Walker Has it again from Alvarez's pass, and he goes down the line to Mahrez. Back he goes this time to Ruben Diaz. Diaz will control inside the centre circle and find Kyle Walker. Was cutting from the right hand touchline and spread a wonderful ball towards the left hand side, but there's Bowen chested down and Paqueta just gives the ball away to Alvarez. His ball is behind Mahrez and West Ham can try and break as Alvarez nips back in to get the ball back and stop West Ham's counter attack. That time around, just over 5 minutes gone here. It's Man City 0, West Ham 0 in the Premier League. You're listening to the alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. You're also live on JB Sports and Storm FM and TC Hub 2. Still 0-0 between Liverpool and Fulham. There is a game in League 1 and League 2 tonight, and the National League quarter final, and same in the National League North and South quarter final as well, and also in the WSL and also some Spanish La Liga games. I'll give you an update on all the scores from those games in just a moment, as here come West Ham United with Emerson to play the ball down the line. We're looking for Mikel Antonio. He's putting John Stones under a bit of pressure. Stones as well to keep the ball in play, and then Man City just managed to get the ball away. John Stones in the right back area, clears it downfield, look towards Erling Haaland, who beat in the air by Ogbonna, and then downs in heads it forward, but then Morris picks up the loose ball. Morris holding up the play well, and he'll drop it into the centre back there, and Man City will come forward over on that far side as they will try and come forward. And there's a back heel from Grealish who's cut the ball out and he's behind for a corner, whose back heel is cut out by Sue Fellows. Not happy with the decision of being given a corner. And we'll just look at this again. Does he go out with, does he go off the, he comes a double deflection now off Bernardo. He did it Bernardo Silva with a double deflection, so he came off Vladimir Coufal, and it will be a corner kick to Manchester City. John Stones is inside the penalty area, which Morris takes, but it's cleared away the near post by Vladimir Coufal up towards halfway, but it's only picked up by Kyle Walker, so the ball and the play will come back at West Ham United. Now Julian Alvarez drops the ball back to Kyle Walker just inside his own half, and there's Rodri just inside his own half on towards the centre circle. Inside the centre circle and Ruben Diaz. Diaz will look up over halfway now and roll it across into the path of Kyle Walker. Down the line he goes into Julian Alvarez, into Diaz inside the centre circle. Can flick the ball on. Was Bernardo Silva who tries to flick it on towards Grealish and West Ham. Get the ball back, and there's wonderful ball down the line. Look for Jared Bowen up against Ruben Diaz, and Bowen has got away from Diaz. Still going Jared Bowen. Can he get the ball in? He can't. Well, he can. I should say could, but he's put behind everybody, and Fornells couldn't go on end of it. And here comes Riyad Mahrez to fetch the ball away for City. Bernardo Silva now up over halfway on the left hand side. Out is Jack Grealish, and Grealish cuts inside so Bernardo Silva can go on the overlap, and he finds Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva rolls up the play back to Grealish inside the penalty area. Edge of the box is Riyad Mahrez, whose shot is pushed away well by Fabianski, and then the cross back in from Bernardo Silva. He flex behind off of Vladimir Coufal and is behind for a corner, and that's good play from Manchester City, forcing a save from Lucas Fabianski. And then he's request back in from Morris, brilliantly blocked there by Vladimir Coufal. An I-5 from Thilo Kehrer for Lucas Fabianskis. When Morris delivers a corner in towards Akio, flicks on, and the ball goes out of play for a goal kick. 9 minutes gone, it's Man City 0, West Ham United 0. If you just tuned into us here on the Commentary Hub. Latest scores around the grounds then. Liverpool 0, Fulham 0 in the Premier League. League 1 is Burton 0, Cambridge 0. League 2 is Alexandra 1, Burton Albion 0. National League is Woking 1, Bromley 0. National League North is Brackley Town 0, Gloucester City 0. National League South is Worthing 1, Braintree Town 1. And in the WSL is Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1 at half time in the Women's Super League. In La Liga with 82 minutes on the clock is Valencia 1, Villarreal 1 is the latest score in those games, and we'll keep you across everything that happens tonight in the other Premier League game as we watch this one here at the Etihad. Manchester City against West Ham is 0-0, and Man City will just know the ball around to Riyad Mahrez on this near side of the right, goes infield, plays it into Rodri, who delivers a sumptuous ball into Nathan Ake, and now finds Jack Grealish. Grealish up against Lamine Soufal, into Bernardo Silva to Nathan Ake, Rodri to Walker, Mahrez now, Riyad Mahrez plays it into the path of Rodri. Out wide it goes into Jack Grealish. Grealish down the line into Bernardo Silva, delivers a ball in field. He's headed away there, brilliant by Vladimir Soufal, and now here comes Fornals to get West Ham moving. He's fed into Mikel Antonio, who's holding up the play well, and he gets away from Ruben Diaz, but he gets the ball away from Ruben Diaz and is fouled by him. He's saying no free kick. The referee, John Brooks, disagrees, and there's a first free kick of the evening. Goes away of West Ham United, and is definitely a free kick. I'm surprised there's no book in their lateness of the challenge. He didn't get anything over the ball there, Ruben Diaz. I think he may have just caught Mikel Antonio slyly there, and that's why the free kick was given. Man City 0, West Ham United 0, and it's Vladimir Soufal who takes this free kick. He delivers the ball in towards the penalty. Teo Kehra's in there, taps it. He's headed away and then act clear by Jack Grealish away for a West Ham throw in which Emerson will come across to take. So Emerson pushed that bit further forward in the left wing back role when West Ham have got possession. When West Ham haven't got possession, he drops back, drop out, Creswell, Ogbonna and Kehra at the back. As it's Emerson now. There's 1-2 with Antonio. Emerson delivers the ball in. Well, the free kick was being given. The ball had already gone for me though before the challenge came in. But Kyle Walker gives away a free kick on the edge of the penalty area, right by the bar line as well. It was already out of play. Both players was out of play when that challenge came in. And the ball had already gone out of play as well before the referee blew, so that should have been a goal kick to Manchester City there. Free kick though to West Ham United with Pablo Fornals, and the captain for the night, Aaron Creswell, stood over this. Fornals and Creswell just having a word with each other there about what potentially could happen. And Fornals delivers the ball in after a clever free kick, comes back out to this new left hand touchline and is cleared away, but West Ham get the ball back from Soufal to Lucas Fabianski, the Polish international. And then that ball's up towards Mikel Antonio, wins the flick on. No, he was on 1-0, won the flick on for Antonio. Here's Pablo Fornals now. Plays it into Paqueta. Bowen, Paqueta again. All out to this left hand side, and Emerson, Paqueta, Fornals, Paqueta again. We'll look to get the ball in, will he? No, he gets the ball back from Emerson. Surprised West Ham haven't got in the box, especially with Ogbonna up there. Now Manchester City could profit from that if Jack Grealish gets this right. And he's still got another chance to get this right as Neves is running through the mid, down the left hand channel. He gets there, tries to pull the ball across for Haaland. He's blocked brilliantly in the end by, I think that was Teo Kehra, but they were blocked in brilliantly. Or was it Aaron Creswell? We'll see this again. Or it could have been, in fact, it is Creswell who makes the block. Kehra pushed that bit further up, caught out in trying to close down the ball into the box. There's a free kick for a push in the back of Mikel Antonio. Definitely a foul there. Pushing the back by Ruben Diaz. No real No idea how I could have any complaints with that bowling towards Antonio. He's dealt with by Stones and back to Ortega, who's in for his Premier League debut. If you just joined us as one of 3 Manchester City changes. West Ham have got a bit of illness in the camp, so could only name 7 substitutes tonight. 2 of which are substitute goalkeepers. As is Riyad Mahrez into Erling Haaland. But Haaland gives it away to Creswell. Gets it back to Fabianski, who slips as he clears it away. And that slip is proven costly. He's after a throw-in. Man City will look to go on a bit quickly. Zaka gets it back to Diaz. Now Walker. West Ham having to do some defending at the moment. And they've really dug in deep and to keep it in 0-0 for the opening 15 minutes or so. There was a quiz question I asked you a few moments ago. We'll get to remind you of that. Again, you can tweet us if you know the answer to that. Country Live 1 is the place to tweet us if you know anything regarding that. Burton Albion have taken the lead against Cambridge now. They lead by a goal to 0 in that game. We'll keep you up to date with how that game goes on a little bit later on in the programme. Is the all important game here that we're focusing on at the moment, which sees West Ham United and Manchester City currently drawing 0-0. West Ham currently holding Manchester City to a goalless draw in which has been a good start from David Moyes' side. As there's Kevin De Bruyne, who's got 95 goals and 141 assists in 349 appearances for Manchester City's next appearance will be his 350th for the club. And Pep Guardiola will be hoping that appearance will come against Leeds United at the weekend. Leeds United confirmed the appointment earlier today of Sam Allardyce. Good interview with Sam Allardyce in his first press conference as Leeds United box as they look to take a trip here on Saturday afternoon. We'll keep you up to date with everything that goes off in the other games up and down the country this evening as and when we can do so. It's currently still 0-0 at Anfield in the Premier League game between Liverpool and Fulham, which is no good news for Liverpool as they want to try and end the season on a winning run. As here is Manchester City in possession with Diaz. Midway inside the Manchester City half. He knocks the ball back to Ederson, who will get it back to Ruben Diaz. And now Diaz gets it back to Ortega, should I say, not Ederson, I said a moment ago, apologies. Here's Alvarez now. Julian Alvarez gets the ball out wide to Grealish. And then it's Bernardo Silva. Cutback is blocked. And then Soufal can try and get the ball away, but it's out for a throw-in to Manchester City, which Grealish takes quickly for his side. Here's Rodri now. Into the right hand side, and here is Kyle Walker. There's Alvarez back to Mahrez. And now Diaz. Paqueta gives the ball away as he won it back momentarily for West Ham as Bowen tried to get off his spot if he could get that ball through to him. Ball into the penalty area, looking for Erling Haaland from Bernardo Silva. He's out to Grealish. Headed away by Ogbonna. Grealish gets it to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva loses the ball in, looking for Haaland. Creswell heads this one away. Only as far as Mahrez to Walker. Man City knocking on the West Ham United door, but the door is not creaking open just yet. It is Man City 0, West Ham United 0. A question for it coming up again, the trivia. If anyone knows who It's one of the most games between Manchester City and West Ham United. I've got that stat in front of me, which I'll tell you about. As here is Walker for Manchester City. He gets the ball back, and now here's Diaz inside the centre circle to Rodri. Rodri back into the centre circle, and Diaz inside the West Ham United off, and over on the left hand side is Nathan Ake. Down the line into Bernardo Silva. Here's Jack Grealish, who does well. Grealish into Alvarez, and West Ham will try and come away. Here's Mikel Antonio to break away for West Ham, and he's running over halfway down the left hand channel. Going to keep the ball in play, can't. Just ran out of room in the end, Mikel Antonio. And that was poor bit of play from Antonio in the end. He did brilliantly to break over the halfway line, but then when he was just running down the line, there was no one in supporting, he was just running out of play. I could tell he was always going out as Paqueta just helps West Ham get the ball back. And here's Emerson over halfway now. Looking to get forward. Emerson into Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta back to Emerson. Paqueta goes down off the ball. Where's Fornals? West Ham have still got men up in attack. He's back on his feet now. Lucas Paqueta as Flynn Downs finds him. Some boost for him after going down so easily, looking for a cheap free kick. And here's Creswell now. And Creswell up from the back. Emerson to Paqueta. Ball in towards the penalty for Bowen. Well, the ball is over it, and that wasn't a super smashing or great pass in the end. It remains Man City 0, West Ham United 0. Video showing us here on the commentary hub. The hub of alternative commentaries. As we see this game unfold. Here's Riyad Mahrez trying to make his way forward for Manchester City. He delivers a ball in towards the penalty. Here's John Stones on the edge of the box. And that's Bernardo Silva. They pull. Choose to have a shot. No, he goes to Grealish. There's a ball in. And just away by Ogbono. Just as Stones was coming in behind him. He's behind for a corner. And it's Man City 0, West Ham United 0. Here is Riyad Mahrez to take. From this near side. He delivers a ball in brilliantly. Edges go up. Is Diaz who won the header in then. Is Ogbono in the end. It was an header onto Ogbono from Ruben Diaz. Mahrez gets it to Alvarez as City going with the game. Instead of waiting for Kyle Walker to come and take the throw-in. Here is Rodri now. As Man City will try and get the opening goal. Here's Walker. Into Ruben Diaz across to Nathan Ake. Now Ruben Diaz again. Here's Walker. Good play from Walker into Ruben Diaz. And Ruben Diaz gets the ball to Rodri. Now Stones and now Alvarez. Alvarez is Jack Grealish onside. Grealish delivers the ball in towards the back post. Holland's there, but he can only head it over. Looking for goal number 51 of his impressive start to life in the Premier League. And life at the Etihad. Haaland couldn't turn that over. Or should I say couldn't turn that into the back of the net. Just went over the head of Riyad Mahrez. And Haaland was unhappy that he couldn't turn that chance into a goal. And now West Ham will try and come forward and try and punish City for that. But City have won a free kick inside the centre circle, inside the Man City half. He's always the first top division player in 92 years to score 50 goals in a season. That's over all competitions as well. So Champions League, FA Cup, EFL Cup as well. And now here is Riyad Mahrez. Dixie Dean was the last player to hit is scored the most goals in all competitions in the season with 63. Haaland may break that. He's got a time with Tom Waring and another one there which I'm just missed in the end. But I wonder if Haaland will ever get past Dixie Dean's record of 63 goals in a competitive fixture as Walker comes forward. As Man City will look to come forward. Here's Ruben Diaz to Rodri. Good play this to Stones, in fact. Now there's Rodri to find Bernardo Silva, who delivers a ball in looking for Haaland over the head of him. And just cleared away there by Ogbonna. Back out to Ruben Diaz. No, Bernardo Silva should I say is Grealish to Ake. And Grealish didn't make that run forward as Ake tried to play back to him. And then West Ham could just clear it forward into the path there of Stefan Ortega. Ruben Diaz has possession. Here's Rodri now to Ake. Will Ake get the ball in towards the penalty area? He does. Wonderful ball in. Headed away by Ogbonna again. Breaks his only as far as John Stones. He's out wide now to Kyle Walker. Back to John Stones, who will look up and get the ball forward. He spreads the play out wide to this near side. Here is Manchester City coming forward again. Good play this. Here's Ruben Diaz. Here's Rodri to John Stones. Pep Guardiola has turned Stones from a centre-back into a defensive midfielder in recent weeks. As he's been able to from Grealish's pass. He delivers the ball and looking for Morris at the back post. Cleared away by Emerson, and then here's Mikel Antonio to fetch the ball even further clear. We find Soufal to help him out. In doing so, can't pick out Bone over there, so that was a poor pass. And in about 10 minutes time I'll tell you the answer to the first quiz question of the day. And a reminder of that quiz question. Today will mark the 190th appear competitive meeting between the two clubs. Who has won the most? Manchester City or West Ham United? Let us know. You can do so by tweeting us at Commentary Live 1, or you can get into us via the comment section tonight. We'll read some of your answers out a little bit later, as Man City still drawing 0-0 with West Ham United. Valencia and Villarreal has ended 1-1 in La Liga. As there's some games in Serie A tonight and the French Ligue 1. We'll go through some of those on the German DFB Polka as well. We'll go through all those scores a little bit at half time. We'll go through those scores, so you won't miss a beat here on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel, also on JB Sports and on Twitch. As Man City almost get caught out as Jarbone went into the penalty area on that far side and cleared and almost put the ball into the back of the net, but just cleared off the line in the end there. It remains Man City 0, West Ham United 0 as is. Man City in possession with Ruben Diaz. Good play this for John Stones, who can get forward. Will he go? Will he though? No, he goes back to Walker. And there's Mahrez back to Walker again. And now is Mahrez to John Stones, edge of the box. Spreads it out wide to Jack Grealish inside the penalty area. Grealish on that far side. Grealish goes for goal and is saved well by Lucas Fabianski. As Crewe Alexandra go 2-0 up against Bradford City in League 1. In League 2, should I say that game is. So to any Bantam fans or Crewe Alexandra fans who are listening, in case you thought your side had moved up a division without even knowing. They are still in League Two till the end of the season, and maybe still in that division next season. I'll look to the League Two table for quite a bit, as we'll just see where that chance again where Bowen going to the penalty area and trying to pull the ball back for Antonio, but that cutback was blocked by the legs of Ortega, who held his position well there, should I say. Half-time in League One is better now being 1, Cambridge 0 in that game. Crewe versus Bradford coming up towards half-time as well. Half-time is around about 15 minutes for us here at the game between Manchester City and West Ham, which remains locked to goal. This is Bernardo Silva. It's penalty area, ball in towards the penalty area. Anyway by Emerson in the back post. Rodri flicks the ball backwards. Headed forward by Diaz to Mahrez. Mahrez into Rodri inside the centre circle. Should I say, not penalty area. He's buzzing out towards the penalty area and John Stones heads the ball across Compic out. Mahrez and he's out for a throw in to Manchester City deep inside the West Ham half, just in line with the penalty area. 2 or 3 yards up from where the edge of the penalty area is there. And 2 or 3 yards away from where the corner flag is. On this near side. Riyad Mahrez. That looked like a foul throw to me. Not spotted by the assistant referee on this near side or by the referee. So Man City will continue with possession. Here's Kyle Walker inside the centre circle. Walker now will find Rodri. And Rodri will turn on possession away from Pablo Fornals. Feeding Erling Haaland. Back into Rodri! Oh, I thought he scored there for a moment. But he comes back off the post. And I thought Rodri had put Manchester City 1-0 in front then. It's a fantastic bit of play between Erling Haaland and Rodri. And then Rodri's effort hits the post and agonisingly for Manchester City. Rolled across the line, but didn't cross the line. And no one in a sky blue shirt was able to turn it home. How unlucky can you get with that effort there from Rodri? There's some murmurs of cheers in the stands around us. They all thought he'd gone in, and I thought he'd gone in for a moment as well, but it wasn't to be in the end for West Ham. For Man City's Rodri there, and West Ham have been let off the hook. That's the first real chance on goal for a while for Manchester City. West Ham have kept them at arm's length. Almost 33 minutes gone. Here's Man City 0, West Ham United 0. If you're just tuning into us here on the commentary, hopefully you're all enjoying the coverage this evening. Manchester City 0, West Ham United 0. And we'll keep you up to date with what's happening in the other Premier League game as and when we can do so. It remains 0-0 that one, as far as I'm aware. I'm not seeing any indication that there's been a goal in the game at Anfield between Liverpool and Fulham. Still goalless here as well as Alves stays on the edge of the penalty. Back to John Stones. And West Ham are just keeping their shape well. And Manchester City being carefully watched by West Ham as they move the ball around and try to move West Ham around. West Ham 2 shots in the game, 1 on target. Man City 6 shots, 2 on target so far as Ake finds Diaz to Walker, and he's got Mahrez on the outside of him, and he opts to use Riyad Mahrez. As here's Diaz. How wide it goes to Rodri, who brings it down well on his chest up against Jared Bowen. And how wide to Jack Grealish, who's up against Vladimir Soufal. Grealish goes one way, then the other, then the other again, and he's just on the edge of the box. Plays the ball through to Rodri. His absolute goal was he's put behind Matteo Kera. It's a corner to Manchester City. He appeared for an offside in there. Where's that ball is played through from John Stones? He's onside is Rodri. And that's Gutierrez behind for a goal kick. West Ham have scored the fewest set-piece goals in the league with 4. Can they get a 50? Can Man City Scott punish him here? They can't. And he's behind for a goal kick. Only 4 goals conceded from set plays. David Moyes' side so far this season. Impressive start that. It's like how impressive stat was earlier. There's been 119 competitive matches. This is the 119th competitive match tonight. In the previous 118, I asked who won the most games. I can tell you that the winner of the most games is Manchester City with 61, as Fornals is penalised for a foul there on John Stones. He was not happy with it. So Man City have got 61 wins, 19 draws, 38 wins for West Ham United. So well done if you said Manchester City. I'll have a look, see if anyone did say Manchester City at half time over on Twitter at Commentary Live 1. Use the hashtag TCUB to get involved with us over on Twitter. You can tweet us any day, any time, any night or day, wherever you are across the world, and we'll reply as and when we can do so. As Man City have just won a free kick. Foul on Jack Grealish by Vladimir Coufal, who's not happy with the former Aston Villa man. Felt that he went down far too easily. And I think I might be inclined to agree with Vladimir Coufal there, as we try and look at it again, but no replay on that one again to see if it was a free kick. So we'll have to go by the referee's view, and I thought it was as well, so I'm in line. I don't think it was, should I say. I'm inclined to disagree with the referee. But here's Morris to deliver the free kick. He's flicked on. Rodri's shot there, blocked by Stones. West Ham managed to clear after Rodri's shot was blocked by his own man. And now it's Bernardo Silva. He delivers the ball in towards the penalty area. Comes towards Rodri inside the box. He's cleared away by Paqueta. Alvarez nips in. And he gets in there to Bowen. Alright to Grealish. Grealish cut the ball back. Downs and then Coufal clears up towards halfway, but it's only as far as Stones. So the move will come back at them. He's Bernardo Silva now on this. Come over across this right hand side. Here's Riyad Mahrez attacking down the right hand side. He cuts in field. Mahrez still going to the penalty area. Goes down. Just Bernardo Silva appeals for a penalty not given. And West Ham will come away. The referee on VAR, which is Rob Jones, will look at that. Liverpool have got a penalty against Fulham in the Premier League to tell you about. Penalty to Liverpool against Fulham. Will they know if they've scored it? As soon as that news comes through to us here on the commentary hub, as Man City are just keeping hold of possession and looking to try and move West Ham around and get in behind them. They've not really done that as much. Manchester City, they've been reduced to shots from outside the area, as he is Grealish into Bernardo Silva, who's onside. Tries to pull the ball back for Haaland. He's cleared up into the air. Bernardo Silva bringing it down well. Jared Bowen to do number 20s on one another there. As the West Ham one who comes away with possession and with a free kick. Foul by Bernardo Silva according to the referee John Brooks, who's not made Pep Guardiola very happy there. Moyes writing down some instructions, and I think David Moyes will be fairly happy with how his side has performed so far. And Liverpool have taken the lead against Fulham. Mohamed Salah with the penalty after a foul on Darwin Núñez. Liverpool 1, Fulham 0. Mohamed Salah from the penalty spot with the goal in that game there. 39 minutes gone here is Man City 0, West Ham United 0. Got another quiz question to ask you at half time to get your thinking caps on throughout the half time interval. And I'll know the answer to that when we come back after the break. I'm going to try and I've got that question in mind here. As is Rodri now in possession. What can Man City do is Diaz to Walker. In towards John Stones, John Stones fetches it down, but then the ball runs off his foot and out of play for a goal kick. And West Ham United have really defended really well in this first half. Of course, Man City a few problems when they've got forward, but on the whole they've defended really, really well. And have limited Man City to shots from outside the area so far. It remains Man City 0, West Ham 0. Come to us 5 minutes of the first half remaining. As here is Lucas Paqueta away from Mahrez, and he wins his side a free throw in there, I think. There's a free kick. The foul on Paqueta, which Creswell will take, but he's had to go back on towards halfway to take it. Antonio's calling for it to come towards his chest so he can, or his head with the signals, trying to get on towards him so he can fling the ball on. That's where it's gone. Is Flick still looking for Jared Bowen inside the penalty? Akazi to win, and it comes out to Fornals. On the half volley, just smashed it into the crowd, and that sees the game remain at 0-0 as West Ham United, whose chances have not come very far, and in between in this first half, and not really caused many problems in the end for Pep Guardiola's side. Man City 0, West Ham United looking up towards half time as the ball is not back to Lucas Fabianski. It's long, looking for the run of Mikel Antonio, wins the flick header on, looking for Fornals. And Fornals and Antonio putting Walker under pressure. Then he knocks it back to Ortega, who's not really been tested on his Premier League debut, and I would think he's be happy with that. One of the real chances had to save is that one where Jared Bowen going out on the right hand side for West Ham and tried to pull it back, but it straight at him in the end, which was a comfortable block by Stefan Ortega. Man City 0, West Ham United 0. 2 minutes to go until the break, and there's not been many stoppages in the first half, so I can't see many minutes being added on. Probably around about a minute, if I was having to have a guess, maybe even 2, unless something happens here. As Haaland races forward, it's got Grealish outside of him. Haaland goes down inside the box as Grealish trying to find him. Grealish again. Bernardo Silva delivers the ball headed away by Ogbonna. Grealish picks up the loose ball. Bowen back there to win the ball back, and the free kick has been given the way of, I think it's gone the way of West Ham United, judging by the boos from the City fans inside the stadium. Well, that looked like a penalty to me for foul on Haaland off of the ball. The referee not giving it, and it is a free kick to West Ham. Foul on Jared Bowen. Ball forward by Fabianski, but given it away as Ortega's closed down brilliantly. Is now Walker putting under pressure there as he plays out of trouble. Run away from Stones, but West Ham won the ball back, and then they go in between, in front of each two of them there, Paqueta and Emerson. So Man City managed to win the ball back and win a throw-in, which Reid Mahrez will probably take, will he? It goes back to Kyle Walker just inside the Man City half, into the centre circle, and Rodri. John Stones. Here he goes into Ruben Diaz. Diaz will now look up and play A ball into Stones. Back to Diaz, and now here is Roger White to Ake. Good play this. Bernardo Silva. Here's Jack Grealish. Grealish towards the penalty area. Still going Jack Grealish. Rodri to Ake. Ake now coming forward. Stones. Diaz. In towards the penalty area. Towards Orange. Breaks all the way to the far side, and Bernardo Silva to Ake inside the penalty area. Crossing towards the penalty area, looking towards Alvarez, and Ireland as the ball's cleared away. Into 20 seconds of a minute at a time here now is Man City 0, West Ham United 0, and I must say West Ham and David Moyes probably will be the happier of the two managers at half time if he ought to get to 0-0 at the break, which would be a massive achievement for the Hammers if they were to do that. As here comes Manchester City in possession, but now they're coming forward again. Can they get a goal within the last 10 seconds of the first half? John Stones can try and help them do that. Here's Grealish. He's got Bernardo Silva on the overlap. Grealish delivers the ball in towards on the edge of the penalty area. Not back by Alvarez, and here's Fornals. And Fornals, as Fornals is running away with the ball, the half-time whistle goes, and there is half-time then in the game between Manchester City and West Ham United. It is goalless at the break, and West Ham have done really, really well to hold their own in this game against Manchester City. And the citizens who are looking to go back to the top of the Premier League tonight are being held at the moment by West Ham United. It's 0-0 at the break between both sides, between Man City and West Ham United. Now then to another question I would like to ask people at half time if you want to get involved with this. Despite the record dating back to 1924, the fixture top goal scorers have been dominated by players from the modern era, and the record meaning in recent years of the fixture been dominated by City, West Ham winning just 3 of the last 31 Premier League meetings against Man City dating back to 2016. No league win coming since 2015, 119th appearance. Competitive meeting between the two clubs. Who do you reckon has scored the most goals in this fixture? I'll tell you a clue. He's no one that plays now. Can you guess it? If you can, let us know in the comments and we'll read it out after the break. But at the break then, it's Man City 0, West Ham United 0, as I leave you till the second half. Welcome back to the Common Tribes coverage between Manchester City and West Ham United. It's 0-0 at the break as the two teams emerge from the tunnel at half time. Man City made 3 changes at the start of the game, but have yet to find a breakthrough with likes of Haaland, Grealish, Silva, Mahrez, Alvarez all on the field of play. West Ham had to make 4 changes as the illness came through their camp ahead of this game this evening, which meant no Declan Rice and no Thomas Soucek among some of their key players in the Hammers side. Today, they've only been able to name 7 substitutes on the bench of the Hammers as well, which includes 2 goalkeepers. I wonder if we'll see an improvement for Manchester City, see if they up the tempo in the second half, or whether Manchester City, or whether West Ham will keep as the Hawks. They've played some good football so far, as Man City get the second half off and underway, as here is Ruben Diaz just inside the centre circle. It remains Man City 0, West Ham United 0. If you're just tuning into us here on the Common Tribes coverage, we'll go through the two sides again at the start of the second half shortly as we bring you this game today. Man City 0, West Ham United 0, and we'll run you through the teams in a moment as the ball is out wide on this near side for Manchester City as they will look to try and attack. Now he's over on that far side with Kyle Walker, and it goes back into the path of John Stones to Rodri, and now Ruben Diaz gets it out wide to Kyle Walker. Now Riyad Mahrez over on that far side, delivers the ball in towards the penalty area, and the ball runs out to play for a goal kick. That ball looking for Rodri there, couldn't find the Man City man and was out of play for a goal kick. He remains Man City 0, West Ham United 0 in this game. We'll go through the teams for you now. There's the Man City lineup with Ortega in goal, making his Premier League debut. Walker, Diaz, Ake across the back. Stones and Rodri in the holding roles. Mahrez, Alvarez, Silva and Grealish in midfield. Haaland in attack. We'll go through the West Ham side in a moment as they try and force a Manchester City mistake, which they have done, and won themselves a throw-in over on that far side, which will be taken by Emerson. It goes back to Creswell and back into Emerson. Back into Creswell, and who wins this side, another throw-in. So they've got Fabianski in goal. There's a back 3 for them of Kehrer, Ogbonna and Creswell. In midfield of Soufal, Paqueta, Downs and Emerson, Bowen, Antonio and Fornals in attack. It's Emerson who will take the throw-in, looking for a runner there in Paqueta, is it? Yes, he finds Paqueta and tries to get the ball inside the penalty area, cleared away by Mahrez. Out of play for a throw-in to West Ham again as they keep to ramp up the pressure. Mikel Antonio, the lone striker, has come across Tillerson. He's got a long throw on him, Mikel Antonio. And we wonder if we'll see the goal in this one. Mikel Antonio to line up the throw-in, then he launched in towards penalty. Flicked on in there, cleared away at the near post by Riyad Mahrez. Up towards halfway, and Creswell. Down the line it goes, back into Aaron Creswell, who tries to get the ball down the line again for West Ham as they try and break. But now Erling Haaland's got a charge on here now. He's got Jared Grealish in support, he finds him. Grealish going forward. Grealish is brought down there by Downs. A yellow card comes out, and the yellow card is given to Downs, and West Ham United player goes into the book, and it remains West Ham United. Man City 0, West Ham United 0. 48.5 minutes gone, and that's a definite foul from Downs. Nowhere near the ball, and takes out the former Aston Villa man, Jack Grealish. The £100 man who cost Manchester City, didn't he? If you remember, Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, another side they're playing claret and blue. Fulham in a moment after this free kick, which Murray takes in towards the penalty area. And it's in there, and there's a goal for Manchester City. And it's Nathan Ake who heads home for the Citizens at the back post. And the Citizens start the second half how they mean to go on, with the opening goal of the game. 49 gone. It's Man City 1, West Ham United 0. Fantastic free kick from Bernardo Silva. And Ake peeled off round the back, unmarked, to head home. There's a pure free offside in there from somebody. Not sure it was Morris who delivered the free kick. First free offside in there by Tio Kera against Nathan Ake. Not sure if that's going to be given. And as the ball was headed home, West Ham United are behind. Man City are in the lead. And Man City lead by a goal to his first Premier League goal of the season for Nathan Ake. And Manchester City are off and running in this game. Man City 1, West Ham United 0. And this is Nathan Ake's third goal in all competitions for Manchester City. As here come the Citizens again. Can they get their form back up and running, as they will try and get back onto top spot? They are doing so far with this positive result by a point from Arsenal, who went back top. I said for about 24 hours after the game last night against Chelsea, and I could be right. It's Man City 1, West Ham United 0. We'll go across and check on the other scores in a moment. We'll tell you how Liverpool are getting on. Tell you how some of the other games are getting on as well in a moment. As here comes Man City again. Can they get a second here? Ake, the goal scorer. Out wide now to Jack Grealish. It was a sumptuous header from Nathan Ake at the back post. Left Fabianski with no choice and no chance of saving it, as the header flew past him into the back of the West Ham United net. Here's Jack Grealish inside. Out wide is Bernardo Silva. Down the line he goes to Julian Alvarez. Alvarez tries to get the ball in, so Foul clears it away. He's had a play for a throw. Some Man City fans appeal for an handball, nothing given. Last 12 home games for Manchester City, won all 12, scoring 44, conceding 6. It's going to be a big ask for the Hammers to get back into this game, and a big ask for Leeds United to go there under Sam Allardyce and get anything from here at the weekend. As is Grealish cutting in the field. Jack Grealish goes for goal, and shot blocked by Ogbonna. Comes out wide to Riyad Mahrez, the assist maker for the first goal. Can he get another assist tonight? He says to Nathan Ake again. Cries for a shot from him to him, and nothing wasn't given. Comes back to Ake. Another cries for shoot. Wants him to have a go from there, but he opts against it. As City just knock the ball around well. Here is Bernardo Silva on this near side. Into the penalty area he goes for Alvarez. Alvarez still going. Can't keep the ball in play, and he slips at the vital moment, and the ball goes out of play, and it remains Man City 0, West Ham. Man City 1, West Ham United 0. Should I say I almost said 0-0. Nathan Ake just put Man City in front just after the half-time whistle, didn't he? It's still 0-0 in this. Still 1-0 in this game. It's still 1-0 Liverpool. Beaten lead by a goal to against Cambridge. It's now 2-2 between Alexandra and Bradford. Crewe 2-0 remember. As Grealish comes forward towards the penalty. It's Erling Haaland just for 51st goal of the season. Shot fantastically saved there by Fabianski. Comes out to Jack Grealish, whose shot goes wide, and Jack Grealish can't profit from that. But Erling Haaland should have had his 51st goal of the campaign. The ball into him. He ran infield, played a 1-2 with Jack Grealish. He brought it down well on his chest, but couldn't get a strike in. I think in the end, he was looking back to find the run of Julian Alvarez, who couldn't get an end of the ball either. And then he came back to Grealish, whose shot was poor in the end. He remains Man City 1, West Ham United 0. Coming up to us 54 minutes gone in this game. is now working one Bromley. One Bromley have equalised in that game. Worthing 2-1 up against Braintree. National League South. Gloucester City leading 1-0 against Brackley Town in National League North. And Chelsea Women 2-1 up against Liverpool there as well. We'll keep you across all the other action in full time, tell you how the other results are getting on in the games. Here's Stefan Ortega with possession for Man City after the cross. As we were going through the scores, was put into the penalty area from the left hand side, looking for the run of Michael Antonio, and he couldn't go on end of it. And Ortega claimed it well as Ortega had to fetch her down on his chest. It looked like he was going to handle it there for a moment after the ball come back into him from Walker, which wouldn't have been able to pick up. It remains Man City 1, West Ham United 0 as the ball breaks here for Soufal. Vladimir Soufal will call the ball inside there, and here comes Downs, who will turn away and get the ball forward. Headed forward there by Roger to Alvarez, back to Alvarez from Mahrez after a neat 1-2 between them both. Bernardo Silva now has possession. Out wide he goes to Jack Grealish. Grealish will attack down the left hand side. He goes back to the scorer Ake. Now Grealish again. Got Bernardo Silva on the outside of him. He goes back to Nathan Ake. Edge of the box is Rodri. Cries for a shot. Headed back in by Walker. Cleared away by Angelo Ogbonna. Out for a throw in, which Riyad Mahrez will come across to take. Man City lead by a goal to 0 against West Ham. Here on the commentary hub, the home of alternative commentary. Good play this is Nathan Ake. Out wide is Jack Grealish. Into Ake once more. Now Diaz. Across there is Walker, who's been told by John Stones to go back to Diaz. And then Diaz will look up for support. Good ball into Alvarez, and now Rodri back to Diaz. Be interested to see how Man City do here. Here's Stones into Alvarez. Alvarez does well to Rodri. Ball down is Bernardo Silva. No free kick given. It's cleared away as it would have been a foul on the edge of the penalty area, just outside the penalty area if that free kick was given. As the ball is played into Michael Antonio onside. Michael Antonio appears for offside by Walker and Diaz. Nothing given though. Be interesting to see if that goal would have stood if Antonio got the ball in. Appears for offside. Remains Man City 0. Man City 1, West Ham 0. 134 goals Man City have scored this season. 123 Bayern Munich, 118 Real Madrid, 107 PSG, 19 Man United. That's across Europe's top leagues. As is Haaland has had a penalty. Haaland goes down. Corner kick given. Fantastic challenge in the end. No penalty. Haaland looking for the penalty there as he went down. Excuse me, as it went down inside the penalty area, and I think he could have been a potential penalty. I think he caught his ankle first and then got the ball. I think VAR were checking it. They did check it, but the referee John Brooks has been told is play on. As Mahrez delivers this corner kick towards Ake in the back post. It's back across. Stones is there, goes down. Appeals for a penalty again. Nothing given. Man City wanted a penalty there. Now Antonio can fetch West Ham United away. Can he get away? And now he breaks for Downs. Downs chips it down the line for Antonio. Keeps the ball in play. Does well, Michael Antonio. Holds up the ball well. Into Downs again. And now West Ham fans again behind their team as they want them to push forward. This is Antonio running towards where his fans are situated and wins his side of throw in there. With John Stones wanting the penalty. Let's have a look at this challenge again. John Stones stretches it down, and I think John Stones has a claim there. I think that could have been a potential penalty, but the referee not giving it. The referee very poor with that one there. Here comes Vladimir Soufal. Leaves the ball towards the back post. Headed behind there by Kyle Walker for a corner kick to West Ham United. West Ham starting to get on the front foot after Man City's goal. You're almost vulnerable after you've just scored a goal. Vladimir Soufal delivered a fantastic cross in. And Walker had to play behind with Jared Bowen coming running on behind him. It would have been a super smashing header if Bowen managed to get in front of Walker and head home there for the Hammers. Wonder if West Ham can score a super smashing great goal here from this corner, which will be taken by Paqueta. In towards a penalty, headed away. No, in fact, it was taken by Fornals. Now it comes out to Emerson, who looks to get the ball back in. Fornals is there this time. He delivers the ball in, which is blocked brilliantly by Mahrez, who calls for his teammates to push out with him. Balls in towards the penalty area. Ake heads it away. On this far is Bernardo Silva, who will help out his left side of centre back to clear his out of play for a throw in to Manchester City, who lead by 1-0. Yes, as Soufal is down injured. So with Soufal down injured, I can tell you that the player who has scored who was the top goal scorer in this fixture is Man City legend Sergio Aguero with 10, followed by Raheem Sterling with 6, David Silva with 6, Alvaro Negredo with 5, and Yaya Toure with 5 as well. Those are the scorers, top scorers in there. Let's have a look at some of the scores up and down the country. Remains as they were in the game between Liverpool and Fulham, 1-0, as we see Ake's goal again. There were some appeals for offside. Ogbono and Antonio having a go at each other as well, and Ake just took total advantage because they were appealing for offside. He celebrated, VAR checked it, no offside, goal was given, and Man City were leading. And so Soufal is just making his way off the field of play, will be replaced by Ben Johnson in West Ham's first change and the game's first change of the match today. Man City 1, West Ham United 0. Nathan Ake with the goal 10 minutes into the second half. 5 minutes into the second half, should I say. On 50 minutes, around about 10 minutes or goal, should I have said there. Man City 1, West Ham United 0. Is Paqueta now. Does well to get the ball forward. How wide it goes from Fornals into the path. It goes. Here is Paqueta into Antonio. Antonio back into Paqueta. Turns away well. Paqueta up against Riyad Mahrez. So again Paqueta lives across in. Deflects off Mahrez. Behind for a corner. And West Ham fans trying to get behind their team once more as they sense an equaliser could potentially be on the cards here for the Hammers. The first half performance does prove that West Ham do deserve to get something out of this game, but it's not about 45 minutes performances, it's about 90 minutes performances, and West Ham is showing a 62-minute performance so far. They are still in this, and still with a shout as a corner comes in, flicked on by Paqueta and just out for a corner. Again, come off, I think he come off Diaz there, or was it Rodri, who managed to head it away. Another corner then, which will be taken by Pablo Fornals again this time. It's deep this time, punched away by Ortega towards the edge of the penalty where Mahrez is challenging, and a free kick has been given to Manchester City for a foul on Mahrez, and Man City have a bit of a respite, and it could have been a potential penalty for West Ham United. Before Ortega Moreno punched the ball away, he was grabbing hold of Mikel Antonio's shirt. So I'm surprised VAR didn't spot that, or if they did, wouldn't feel they deemed to be enough contact. Well, as they saw contact there, as is still Man City 1, West Ham United 0 in the Premier League. Scoring Nathan Ake on 50 minutes. Now here comes Riyad Mahrez. There's ball inside to Erling Haaland. Haaland still going forward. Inside the penalty, Erling Haaland. What can Erling Haaland do here? Can he get an assist here now? Balling towards Bernardo Silva, claimed by Fabianski. And Haaland wants to be the one inside the penalty and not putting the ball in. And challenge on Bonner closing off Alvarez so he can't get towards Fabianski. Gets round him and then Fabianski puts the ball down and clears it towards the left hand side where Antonio tries to get the flick on. But Man City will come up again. Come forward down their right hand side. Well, the ball's up towards Ollie. It's cut out by Ogbonna. And Man City have committed a foul there. Free kick to West Ham. Foul by Rodri on, I think that was Michail Antonio. It was Paqueta, sorry. And now it's Man City 1, West Ham 0. If you just joined us, 65 minutes almost played here at the Etihad Stadium. Ball flicked on here is Stones into Walker, gets the ball into Ireland. Good crossfield pass this towards Jack Grealish, gets the ball back there and into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva does well to find Nathan Ake. Ake will look to come forward. Here is Diaz to Rodri to Bernardo still traversed back into Diaz this time as Diaz will come forward. What can he do here with possession? He finds Rodri. Rodri will play the ball out wide to this far side and Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez cuts in field into Rodri who's still got possession. Ake now. Good ball out wide to Jack Grealish on this near side of the left. Just a couple of yards in from the touchline. He plays the ball in field to Rodri who lays it to his right. And there's Diaz into Alvarez. Back to Rodri. Rodri splits out wide to this left hand side again. Grealish goes down under the challenge of Johnson. Free kick has been given, I think. I think it has, yes. Free kick has been given, foul on Jack Grealish. And Grealish, what about taking it quickly? We'll leave it to Julian Alvarez to take. One shot on target out of 3 in the second half. And he's gone the way of Manchester City as Kevin Nolan speaks to Danny Ings, who's about to come on for West Ham United. Be interested to see if Danny Ings can add to his goal tally for the season of 3 goals, which he's got in all competitions. The goal was Ake's 3rd in all competitions he's faced in the Premier League. As Danny Ings comes on for Mikel Antonio, who's done well for 66 minutes. And he's getting a warm applause from the Hammers faithful. Away to my right hand side. And gets an high five from Jared Bowen as he trunches off. Handshake from David Moyes and a spoken to in the ear. High five from some of the benches as well, including Hammers legend Kevin Nolan, amongst the rest of the coaching staff, as Dan Ings will now be tasked with the man trying to get the goals for West Ham in this game, along with the likes of Pablo Fornals and Jared Bowen, Lucas Paqueta as well. Different dimension to the Hammers attack now, as Danny Ings is not as big or physical as Mikel Antonio, as here's Johnson down the line looking for the run of Danny Ings, who was just offside, so Johnson had to continue his run. Just put under Ortega under a bit of pressure, who's not really had much doing this second half, as Man City decided to step it up just that extra notch, as well the TV pundits was thinking Man City might do. And here comes Manchester City, they're looking for a second goal, as here is Grealish now on this near side up against Johnson. Grealish on the edge of boxes, Alvarez. Alvarez goes for goal, and what a fantastic save in the end by Lucas Fabianski. And Lucas Fabianski makes a comfortable save in the end from Julian Alvarez. The curling shot, saw it all the way. They've just seen it's a little bit late behind Ogbonna, but then he wants to go past Ogbonna, so it's all the way to reshuffle his, to get his body into position to dive and to make that save. And I think he could have just plucked it up, made a save standing up there, but he Let's go down to his feet for the television cameras. Let's hear tonight. Here's Downs. Paqueta brings it down well as you listen to live alternative opportunity remote commentary on Manchester City 1, West Ham United 0. Russ Finn, your commentator, and in around about 20 minutes or so, it has to be game. I think he kept on to think of a player of the match award as he's Emerson try and get the ball in play as West Ham will try and come for his Paqueta. Good play this as West Ham United still having a good go at this game. Downs does well to turn away. And Ogbonna will now look to play the ball backwards. Paqueta down the line it goes. Wonderful play this from West Ham United as they try and get the ball forward. He's given away now. Here comes Jack Grealish. He's got Erling Haaland through onside. Haaland is onside. Erling Haaland in for 51st goal of the season. And he gets his 51st goal of the season. Erling Haaland. 2-0 for Manchester City. 51 goals for the season for Erling Haaland. And this is just a superb finish from Erling Haaland. As a spanner that says congrats to Haaland for breaking the record goals in a Premier League season. And this was just a poor mistake from West Ham. Jack Grealish raced the way through. He is onside Erling Haaland. No way this is going to be disallowed. And he chips it over Fabianski. And that is poor Bernardo Silva into Grealish. Grealish plays it through. And Erling Haaland says, thank you very much. As Fabianski started to come out. So he could make his man up early. And a delicate chip over the top of him. Into the back of the net is Man City 2. West Ham United 0. And yes, fantastic little chip over the top there from Erling Haaland. He gave him the eyes. 35 goals in the Premier League, 51 goals in all competitions. He's scored the most goals in a Premier League season in Premier League history, beating Andy Cole and Alan Shearer, who were both tied on 34 goals. Haaland levelled with our last time he was on the score sheet, and he's got record-breaking goals in a season. He could have a few more of the weekend. The way Leeds United's defence have been shaping up in the recent weeks, but who knows if that's going to be the case when Big Sam takes his Leeds side to the Etihad this weekend. Manchester City now lead by 2-0, 71 minutes on, coming towards 72 minutes on the clock, and Man City are well and truly on their way to another 3 points and heading back to the top of the Premier League table this evening with this victory over the Hammers. Well, West Ham have caused Man City a few problems tonight, and if Leeds United were watching this and Big Sam and his coaching staff, Carl Robinson and former Leeds striker Robbie Keane, who's on his coaching staff at Ellen Road, they'll be looking at something that West Ham did and try and do something similar with the Leeds side of the weekend. But here comes Man City again. Here is Jack Grealish. Grealish still going in towards the penalty area. Cut out by Ben Johnson, who can run away. Antonio's down, but West Ham are continuing. So to a Man City. I won't put the ball out if I was Man City, because West Ham have had a chance to pull the ball out and they've not bothered putting the ball out as Johnson gets the ball down the line to Dan Ings, who's onside. Ball in towards the penalty area. No, Antonio's gone down. In the end, it was trying to see who's gone down over there. Is Lucas Paqueta who's down, and Jack Grealish has put the ball out of play here. But I'm with the Man City fans here. West Ham continue to play with Paqueta being down. I don't see why Grealish had to put the ball out of play here, because there's no foul in there by Rodri. And if West Ham were happy to play on, surely Grealish should have just played on and didn't put the ball out. And I think that was what Pep Guardiola was signalling to Jack Grealish, when he actually pulled the ball out, and as we just see that delicate little chip from Erling Haaland, just 4 minutes to go to put Man City 2-0 up as we go into the 74th minute. So around about 16 minutes left to play, and Manchester City are well and truly on their way to victory now. Just to tell you, with the other games taking place now, Chelsea women have beaten Liverpool by 2-1 in the Women's Super League. Woking are trailing now 2-1 against Bromley. Brackley Town are 2-1 up against Gloucester City in the National League North and South playoffs respectively. National League, should I say, and National League North. Worthing 2 up against Braintree, still in the National League South as Akanji and Foden are about to come on for Manchester City as Diaz has possession there. As West Ham about a full complement of players now. We'll go through all the scores from today's games at the end of the match tonight. It remains 1-0 to Liverpool against Fulham in the Premier League this evening, as well as this game in the Premier League, which sees Man City lead by 2-0 as Man City will just have possession with Jack Grealish to get the ball back. Fouled by Paqueta on Grealish, and a hug between them both as Man City just get a free kick here, I think it is, for that foul on Grealish. Well, Grealish will be told to just wait as Man City make a substitution here now as Nathan Ake, the scorer of the first of the 2 goals for Manchester City tonight, is replaced by Manuel Akanji. And then the other substitute sees number 19 Julian Alvarez be replaced by Phil Foden. In this game, and both of those 2 players gone off. Alvarez and Ake have done fantastically well this evening for Manchester City, who lead by 2-0. Now let's just tell you what's coming up for Manchester City in their next 5 Premier League matches, or next 5 games in that they've got coming up. Is Leeds United at home before a trip to Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final, which is the first leg. Then it's a trip to Goodison Park before the return leg here at the Etihad on the 17th of May against Real Madrid before a game against as for West Ham is a home tie on Sunday evening against Manchester United. AZ Alkmaar on the Thursday the 11th for the play Brentford on the 14th of May away from home. Then it's the away trip to AZ Alkmaar before the Premier League clash with Leeds United at the London Stadium. Both of these teams will come up against Leeds United. It'll be interesting to see how Big Sam's Leeds United fares against David Moyes and Pep Guardiola. West Ham still remain 4 points clear of the drop zone, so a couple of wins for either Forest, Leeds, Leicester in the next 2, and West Ham lose their next 1 against Manchester United. And then West Ham would be in the bottom 3 as a shot. Is it over the bar there by Phil Foden? There's John Stones, in fact, who had that effort over the bar as West Ham will make a substitution, seeing Jared Bowen. Not a super smashing great evening for him or his Hammer side so far as he makes his way off as Said Benrahma comes on for West Ham United for the final 12 minutes or so. Said Benrahma there, the player to come on, as David Moyes will get his side wanting to get into the game this evening, as they will look to try and get the ball forward. Man City lead by 2-0 as here comes the winner, Phil Foden, cut out there brilliantly as West Ham will try and break away with the substitute side Benrahma after a pass from Paqueta, but Man City have got the ball back. Mahrez, compete now Grealish, now Pablo Fornals gets the ball forward. He saw Ortega off his line. He went for glory, didn't have the height, the power, the accuracy as he rode all the way along the floor and trickled out for a goal kick from around about 25, maybe even 30 yards out of goal there in the end, as the Hammers will look to get back into this game. It's Man City 2, West Ham United 0. If you are just tuning into us this evening, big thank you for doing so. You to the alternative commentary here on the Commentary YouTube channel with Russ Vernon. We're also live on JB Sports, Storm FM, and on our Twitch channel too, also on Commentary 2 as well. So big thank you for choosing us as your commentary this evening for this Premier League clash between Manchester United and West Ham United. 14 shots for Man City in the game, 5 on target to West Ham's 4 shots and just 1 on target, which is why West Ham have now got nothing out of this game as is for now. But there's 10 minutes to go, so anything could change. West Ham could have 3 shots on target in the next 3 minutes and all go in. That's how quickly games can change. If you don't have a shot on the target, you'll never score. Or as one person used to say, if you don't have a go on the raffle, you'll never win. Which is quite true. You won't win if you don't have a go. So if you don't have a shot, you won't score, will you? As it remains 1-0 to Liverpool against Fulham in the other Premier League game that's on offer this evening. As here's Ogbonna to try and get the ball forward, but the offside flag was up against Erling Haaland there as Man City tried to come forward. Ogbonna will leave this to be taken by Lucas Fabianski. He'll take the free kick. Not sure why West Ham are taking a little bit of time to take this free kick when they need to get back in the game. No real much time for time wasting. They've got about 8.5 minutes to go left, plus stoppage time. So it could be around about 12 minutes or so. Maybe even less, or could be even longer, depending how much the referee, John Brooks, has told Rob Jones to add on at the end of the game in what has been a fascinating watch, to say the least. And we've had 2 goals in the second half, and Man City will be in action next on Saturday when they take on Leeds United. Our next live offering will come in the Premier League tomorrow night as Brighton take on Manchester United. You can join me for that one again tomorrow to guide you through the action with that one. And then we'll have Newcastle and Arsenal on the weekend with Paul James guiding you through the action with that one. And what a game that has promised to be. And then we'll should have Nottingham Forest v Southampton with myself on Monday evening to guide you through that one. I shall be with you Sunday afternoon to guide you through the closing day in the League One season. Then we shall be with you Monday afternoon as well for the close of the League Two calendar. And then Championship action in the afternoon at 3 o'clock with Nicholas Jones. We should have the closing day fixture, one of the closing day fixtures in the Championship on that Monday afternoon. You're listening here to the alternative commentary here on the Commentary of Russ Vernon to guide you through the action there, and we keeping you up to date with the closing stages of the Premier League as well. We'll hopefully try and get you a game on each channel that we can fetch for you. So stay tuned to find out what's coming up. You can find out what's coming up on the final day of the season on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel with our Twitter feed. Commentary Live 1 is the place to find out what we've got coming up, as West Ham will look to try and get back in this game, but they're running out of time to do so. About 6 minutes left to play as I have to get my thinking cap on right about now decide who's going to be our player of the match, which will be sponsored by the brilliant Community Services, which is owned by Barry Swin. As here comes Jack Grealish, who's been a phenomenal player today, done some good stuff. Here's Erling Haaland. Can he get a second goal over the game? He breaks to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva puts the ball across. He's cut out in the end at the near post there brilliantly by Tio Kehrer, and West Ham United defending for their lives here now. It's Man City 2, West Ham United 0, as the Riyad Mahrez comes across to this corner, as Manchester City lead by 2 goals. As Mahrez takes the corner in towards the penalty. Edge go up, he comes out to the edge of the box for Foden. Oh my word, what a goal! Phil Foden from the edge of the penalty area. 2 goalkeepers want to stop that one. It's Manchester City 3, West Ham United 0, and that's surely the point sealed. And the 3 points remaining here at the Etihad this evening. Phil Foden on the score sheet, 3 different goal scorers. It's Manchester City 3, West Ham United 0. It's a fantastic piece of play from West Ham, from Manchester City. The corner came in and Phil Foden saw this well. You can see from this angle here, he comes out to the edge of the penalty area. He finds a fantastic shot, but on Foden, but he does take a deflection off the right heel, should I say, of Emerson, and wrong for Lucas Fabianski, but take nothing away from the strike from Phil Foden. That's simply sensational. It's Manchester City 3, West Ham United 0. Manchester City have been in total dominance today, and since the second half has started, really, West Ham have buffed and puffed, and they've not really had much goes. And there's 1000th goal in all competitions since Guardiola's appointment in 2016 for Manchester City. 797 for Liverpool, 713 for Tottenham, 706 for Arsenal, and 693 for Manchester United. But 1000 goals in all competitions since Pep took over at the Etihad. But Manchester City now lead by 3 goals to 0, and it's going to be one-way traffic now, as here comes Mahrez trying to get the ball through into towards the penalty area. It was actually Rodri carried the ball forward, tried to pick out Erling Haaland. Remains Man City 3, West Ham United 0. Keep you up to date with all the other scores later. Still 1-0 to Liverpool against Fulham, incidentally, in the other Premier League game. Kicked off at the same time of this, or maybe just, I think it was just a couple of seconds before this, in fact, in the first half, as Liverpool lead by a goal to 0 in that game. As here comes Manchester City to having a bit of defending to do now, as West Ham will try and come forward. Here's Fornals playing the ball through for Danny Ings. Ings can't pick out a teammate as West Ham's attack is cut out, but Paqueta picks the ball back up. Out wide it goes to Creswell, down the line to Emerson, back to Creswell. Paqueta, ball it in towards the penalty area, 2 over 8 from Paqueta, or Ben Rama's liking, and he was through to Ortega, who's making his Premier League debut today, and he's not put full wrong. In fact, Stefan Ortega looked a bit shaky, I would say, at the start, but as the game grew on, he's got better in this game, and he's not looked nervous when shots have come in. Only thing I think I would say he's looked nervous at is when playing out from the back or when people have closed him down. But apart from that, he's been a solid goalkeeper. If I was doing the player ratings for this one, I'd probably put him down as a 7 out of 10 because of his shaky start, but he's overcome that. Here's Ben Rama for West Ham. He's not made a difference since coming on. Here's Paqueta inside the penalty area now. Paqueta shoots. Punt comes out to Fornals. Can Fornals score it? No. Shot is blocked. It clears away. Comes out to Johnson on the edge of the penalty area. Goes back into the halfway line now, and Kehrer. Now Johnson on halfway. Now with Fornals on this near side of the right. And now West Ham will be looking to get back in this game, as we see Cameron Phillips about to come on here for Manchester City. Has been linked with the move to West Ham United in the summer, just a year on after him leaving Leeds United to go to the Etihad campus. And Manchester City, as the ball towards the penalty area, is claimed easily by Ortega. We'll just see this incident again where West Ham play the ball in to Paqueta. Shot came in, and then he come to Fornals, who saw Bernardo Silva make a fantastic block on his shot, and David Moyes doesn't know what else he could do. There, Man City lead by 3-0. They've got Leeds up next. Leeds on a bad run of form, it must be said, and a tough end to the season. Will change your manager, and could that be proved to be a managerial bounce for Leeds United against Manchester City of the weekend? We'll have to wait and find out. As Calvin Phillips comes on for Rodri, and a standing ovation here. He'd be gutted that he will not become facing up against his England teammate and best friend Declan Rice tonight. But Calvin Phillips comes on for Rodri. As we see, there has been a minimum of, and we'll try and see how many minutes has been added on in the end of this game. I think the board showed up 3, and yes, confirmation it was 3. So now it's time for me to announce the player of the match. And the player of the match today is going to go to Manchester City's number 9, Erling Haaland. It was a fantastic performance from Haaland tonight. Led the line really, really well. Got his goal and took it superbly well. But his overall work rate in that final third, pressing against the defenders, closing them down at every available opportunity. And it's a fantastic all-round performance from Erling Haaland for our player of the match this evening, which is sponsored by the brilliant commentary services. So Erling Haaland, our player of the match. Manchester City with Ortega just keeping possession as he finds John Stones, who runs through the heart of midfield, and here's Calvin Phillips from Phil Foden's pass. He picks out Bernardo Silva. Akanji now coming forward. Not really seen much of Akanji in this second half since he came on. Bernardo Silva has just conceded a throw-in. Or one of them, should I say. As here comes Diaz. As West Ham will try and get a consolation goal if they can. But Man City are just going to try and keep the ball and stop West Ham from getting that consolation goal. As Diaz is looking for options. He's got Phillips going short, but he goes to Walker instead. And Walker finds Foden. Got Mahrez over on the overlap, and he finds Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez cuts in field. Foden's there. He takes past Foden and finds Akanji. Manuel Akanji gets the ball out wide to this left-hand side, and Jack Grealish. Grealish coming towards the edge of the penalty area. Plays the ball through to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva into Phil Foden. Almost 4-0, but fantastic save from Lucas Fabianski. And that could have been 4-0. And I must say that should really have been 4-0 as well, if I'm honest, in the end. And that was a poor effort from Phil Foden in the end, as Bernardo Silva can't win the ball back, as West Ham will try and get the ball forward. Ogbonna there is cleaned up towards halfway and is out of play for a throw to Man City. Came off Danny Ings last, and Man City have done a fantastic performance today from them. 3 different goal scorers and 3 points for them. Nathan Ake sent them on the way. 5 minutes into the second half, as a full-time whistle blows, Man City have won by 3-0. It was Nathan Ake who sent them on their way. 5 minutes into the second half, Erling Haaland added a second, and then towards the end a deflected strike from Phil Foden, one-footed Lucas Fabianski, and Manchester City won by 3-0. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes to go through the remaining scores from all the other games today. We're full time here at the Etihad Stadium in what has been a fantastic match in the Premier League. It's Manchester City 3, West Ham United 0. Welcome back to the Common Chubs coverage here on the match between Manchester City and West Ham United. We're now going to go through the scores from the other matches that took place this evening, and let's go through the other scores this evening. Premier League: Liverpool 1, Fulham 0. Manchester City 3, West Ham United 0. As we just see, Erling Haaland have a guard of honour as the Man City players leave the field of play. In League 1, Burton Albion 1, Cambridge United 0. League 2, Quell Alexandra 3, Bradford City 2. In the National League playoffs, Woking 1, Bromley 2. Woking are out. Bromley go to Chesterfield in the other playoff on Sunday in the National League. National League North, latest score in extra time, Brackley Town 2, Gloucester City 2. In the National League South, Worthing 2, Braintree Town 1. In the Women's Super League, Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. German DFB Polka, Stuttgart 2, Frankfurt 3. French Ligue 1, Brest 2, Nantes 0. Italian Serie A, Atalanta 3, Spezia 2. Juventus 2, Lecce 1. Salernitana 3, Fiorentina 3. Sampdoria 0, Torino 2. AC Milan 1, Cremonese 1 in stoppage time at the end of the second half is the latest score. Lazio 2, Sassuolo 0. Monza 1, AS Roma 1. Hellas Verona 0. Inter Milan 6. Spanish La Liga, Valencia 1, Villarreal 1. Latest scores at half time: Atletico Madrid 2, Cadiz 0. Getafe 1, Celta Vigo 0. So there is the results for you this evening. Thank you very much to everyone for tuning in and listening to our coverage today. West Ham remain 4 points above the drop zone, with Leicester, Leeds, Nottingham Forest all below them. Leeds next up for Manchester City and the Etihad. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in today. I've been Wes Vernon. Until next time here on the Common Job, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.